Most people attempt to grow strawberries once and then give up. They plant them, observe a few leaves appearing, perhaps harvest one or two tiny fruits, and then decide that strawberries are too difficult, fussy, or simply not worth the effort. But the truth is very different. Strawberries are not hard to grow at all. In fact, when grown the right way, strawberries are one of the most generous plants you can have, producing bowl after bowl of sweet, juicy fruit for months. The problem isn't the plant itself. The problem is that most people don't understand how strawberries think, how they grow, and what they truly need to produce heavily. Today, you're going to learn how to grow tons of strawberries by following 8 powerful principles. These are not complicated rules or expensive tricks, but simple principles that work whether you're growing in pots, grow bags, raised beds, or straight in the ground. By the end, you'll understand why strawberries can produce endlessly when you work with the plant instead of against it. Before you ever touch soil or buy a plant, the first step is understanding what strawberries actually are. Strawberries are not like tomatoes or peppers that grow tall and produce fruit upward. Strawberries grow low, spread outward, and multiply constantly. They don't just grow fruit, they reproduce, and that reproduction is the secret to massive harvests. A strawberry plant produces fruit, but it also produces runners. These runners stretch out like arms, creating new baby plants that root themselves into the soil. When most gardeners see runners, they panic or ignore them. But runners are not a problem. They are power. Runners are how strawberries turn one plant into many, and many plants into heavy harvests. When you understand this, everything changes. Strawberries don't want to stay small. They want to expand, cover ground, and build a system. If you let them grow naturally while guiding them correctly, one plant can become 10, and 10 can become a strawberry factory. Growing tons of strawberries starts with respecting the plant's natural behavior. Strawberries also have shallow roots. This means they don't need deep soil, but they do need loose, rich soil. Their roots spread horizontally just below the surface, absorbing nutrients quickly. When soil is compacted or poor, strawberries struggle. When soil is soft and alive, strawberries explode with growth. Not all strawberries behave the same way, and choosing the wrong type can limit your harvest before you even begin. Strawberries generally fall into 3 categories: June-bearing, ever-bearing, and day-neutral. Each one produces differently, and understanding this helps you control how much fruit you get and when you get it. June-bearing strawberries produce large harvests over a shorter period. They focus all their energy into a massive fruiting window. Ever-bearing strawberries produce smaller waves of fruit throughout the growing season. Day-neutral strawberries produce continuously as long as conditions are right. For growing tons of strawberries over time, many gardeners prefer ever-bearing or day-neutral varieties because they keep producing instead of stopping after one big harvest. Healthy strawberry plants have bright green leaves, strong crowns, and no signs of rot or disease. The crown, the central growing point, is the heart of the plant. If the crown is damaged, the plant struggles. Strong crowns mean strong plants, and strong plants mean more fruit. Starting with healthy plants gives you momentum. Strawberries respond quickly when they're happy, and when you choose the right variety, the plant's natural productivity works in your favor. Strawberries are incredibly adaptable. They grow in garden beds, containers, hanging baskets, grow bags, vertical towers, and even shallow trays. But regardless of where you grow them, the environment must match how strawberries live in nature. Strawberries love loose, well-draining soil that stays moist, but never soggy. Because their roots are shallow, waterlogged soil suffocates them quickly. This is why drainage matters so much. Whether you're planting in pots or beds, excess water must escape easily. The soil should feel soft and crumbly in your hands. A mix rich in compost provides nutrients, while materials like coco coir or perlite keep the soil airy. Strawberries grow fast, and fast growth requires oxygen at the root zone. Spacing is another hidden secret. When strawberries are packed too tightly, air stops moving between plants. This creates disease, weak growth, and small fruits. Giving each plant enough room allows sunlight to hit the leaves and flowers properly, increasing fruit size and sweetness. Sunlight is non-negotiable. Strawberries need at least 6 hours of direct sun daily. The more sunlight they receive, the more sugar they produce. Sugar equals sweetness. Shade produces leaves, not fruit. If you want tons of strawberries, place them where the sun hits consistently. Planting strawberries incorrectly is one of the most common reasons people fail. The crown of the strawberry plant must sit exactly at soil level, not buried and not exposed. If the crown is buried, it rots. If it's too high, the roots dry out. Perfect placement allows the plant to breathe and grow properly. Once planted, strawberries need consistent moisture. Their shallow roots dry out quickly, especially in containers. Water deeply but gently, making sure the soil stays evenly moist. Strawberries dislike stress. Dry cycles followed by heavy watering confuse the plant and reduce fruiting. After planting, strawberries focus first on root development. This stage is critical. Healthy roots create strong plants, and strong plants produce more flowers. During this time, patience pays off. The plant is building its foundation, even if growth seems slow above the soil. Strawberries are heavy feeders. They grow fast, flower often, and produce fruit repeatedly. This constant production requires steady nutrition. When strawberries lack nutrients, they still grow, but the fruits become small, sour, or scarce. Balanced feeding is key. Early growth benefits from nitrogen to build leaves, but once flowering begins, potassium and phosphorus become more important. These nutrients support flower development, fruit size, and sweetness. Organic compost, compost tea, and gentle liquid fertilizers work beautifully. Strawberries respond better to consistent, light feeding than heavy doses all at once. Think of feeding strawberries like fueling a machine. Steady energy keeps production high. As the plant grows stronger, you'll notice more flowers forming. Each flower is a potential strawberry. Healthy plants produce many flowers, and healthy flowers produce big, juicy fruit. Managing flowers, runners, and energy separates average harvests from massive ones. Strawberries can't do everything at once. They can grow leaves, produce fruit, and create runners. But if they try to do all three at full strength, production drops. Early in the plant's life, removing flowers allows the plant to focus on root and leaf development. This might feel wrong, but it pays off later with stronger plants and heavier harvests. Once the plant is established, you allow flowers to remain and turn into fruit. Runners are another energy decision. If you want bigger fruits, you remove runners. If you want more plants and long-term abundance, you root runners intentionally. Managing runners allows you to control how the plant uses its energy. Strawberries reward this attention. When you guide their growth, they respond with size, quantity, and consistency. Once your strawberry plants begin flowering heavily, you've entered one of the most exciting stages of the entire growing process. Those small white flowers with yellow centers are not just decoration. Each one represents a future strawberry. But flowers alone do not guarantee fruit. For strawberries to turn flowers into full, juicy berries, pollination must happen properly. Outdoors, this process happens naturally through bees, butterflies, and other pollinators. Indoors or in sheltered spaces, you may need to help the process slightly. Gentle airflow from a breeze or fan can move pollen from flower to flower. Some gardeners even lightly tap or brush the flowers to encourage pollination. When pollination is successful, the flower center begins to swell and the petals fall away. That swelling is the beginning of a strawberry. Healthy pollination leads to evenly shaped fruits. Poor pollination results in misshapen strawberries with uneven growth. This is why sunlight, airflow, and plant spacing matter so much. When flowers receive enough light and air, pollination improves naturally. As fruits begin forming, the plant's demand for nutrients increases again. This is the moment when strawberries decide how big, sweet, and juicy they will become. Consistent watering becomes critical here. Strawberries developing fruit cannot tolerate dry soil. Even short dry periods can lead to small berries, poor flavor, or aborted fruits. The soil should remain evenly moist, especially during fruit swell. At the same time, cleanliness becomes important. Strawberries sit low to the ground, which makes them vulnerable to rot and pests. Keeping the fruits off wet soil helps tremendously. Mulch made from straw, wood shavings, or dry leaves creates a protective barrier that keeps fruit clean, reduces moisture stress, and prevents soil splash during watering. This simple step dramatically improves fruit quality. Healthy strawberry plants resist disease naturally. When plants receive proper sunlight, spacing, and airflow, fungal problems are rare. Overcrowding, excessive moisture, and poor air circulation are the main causes of disease. By controlling these factors, you prevent most issues before they ever appear. As the berries grow, you'll notice their color changing slowly. Green berries turn pale, then light red, and finally deep red. Flavor develops last. A strawberry that looks red but hasn't fully ripened will taste bland. True sweetness comes when the fruit is fully colored and slightly soft to the touch. This stage is where patience pays off. Waiting an extra day before harvesting often doubles the flavor. Harvesting strawberries is one of the most satisfying moments in gardening. You're not pulling up a plant or ending a season. You're collecting rewards while the plant continues growing. Strawberries are generous by nature. When harvested properly, they keep producing again and again. The best time to harvest strawberries is early in the morning when the fruits are cool and firm. Use your fingers or clean scissors to cut the stem just above the berry. Pulling the fruit directly can damage the plant or remove future flowers. Gentle harvesting keeps the plant healthy and productive. Once you begin harvesting, production often increases. Removing ripe fruit signals the plant to redirect energy into new flowers and berries. This creates a cycle where harvesting actually encourages more fruit instead of stopping it. Growing strawberries isn't about forcing plants to produce, it's about guiding them, letting them express their natural generosity in a way that works for your space and lifestyle. And that's how you grow tons of strawberries. Not by luck, not by expensive tools, but by understanding the plant and working with its natural rhythm. Strawberries are one of the most rewarding crops you can grow, whether you have a garden, a balcony, or just a few pots in the sun. Once you get it right, they keep giving back season after season. If this guide has changed the way you look at the potential of your garden, please subscribe and like this video. We are uncovering the secrets of nature that others have overlooked. Start planting your future today. The next harvest of knowledge will be ready for you very soon.